Welcome back, brand builders. This is Angelique Bolding, and today we're talking building integrity and sales enablement within the direct selling industry. So joining me today, I have Travis Ortiz and Micaiah York from Dream Trips International, which is the most recognized and award-winning vacation lifestyle membership club in the world. And they both come with some very unique backgrounds in the entrepreneurial and marketing space, and really excited for them to share some of their insights with us today. So I'm going to go ahead and welcome you guys. Thank you for taking the time to chat with us.
Of course.
You're both serial entrepreneurs, global entrepreneurs. Obviously, you share the common love of world traveling. Micaiah, you're a life coach for teens, and Travis, you said serve and share. So I think there's a story behind the SHARE that I'm excited to dive into as well. But
that's correct.
Tell us more about your background and what brought you to where you are today and your journey with Dream Trips.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll kick us off. And Angelique, it's such a pleasure to be here. Thank you. I know you have so many incredible people that you interview here, so it's really an honor to spend some time with you. You know, I'm 31 years old. I got involved as a young entrepreneur, actually at the age of 18, and you know, I was just motivated. I grew up with a single mom. I have two older brothers and a younger sister, and I remember like it's yesterday. My brother sent me a long distance package. For those of you who've been in the industry, you may understand what that is. And I opened it up and I watched it, and it was an opportunity. It was actually in the legal space. But it really allowed myself to dream again. You know, I just remember my mom, you know, going to school or sending us off to school, going to work, picking us up from school, going back to work. So from a young age, I just had a desire to want something more. And I didn't really know what that was, but I got introduced to this industry, and it's just transformed my life. You know, my first 5 years in that space, I didn't really make any money, to be frank, but I learned a lot. I learned a lot about leadership, learned a lot about how to become an entrepreneur, how to overcome problems, the power of negotiation, and you know, what does it look like to build an organization, lead an organization. And so I kind of went to my direct sales university, you could say, and then that led me into you know, a skincare brand, and I partnered up with it. And you know, Angelique, I'll never forget, because a friend of mine came to me one day and said that we were going to sell skincare. And you know, at that time, I looked like I was 13 years old. I was like, there's no way I'm going to have success selling skincare. I look so young. How am I going to do this? But I plugged into the system, and I trusted the people that I was with. And that's really where I started to build some incredible success inside of that industry. I ended up opening that product in Tokyo, lived in Tokyo for 2 years, expanded into South Korea, lived in South Korea for 2 years. And it was going, you know, quite well. And, you know, we found ourselves in a position where things were just changing inside of the industry. You know, sometimes you get to the top of companies and you realize what's really going on behind the scenes isn't something that you want to necessarily put your name behind. And so I was in a position where I was definitely looking for something else, and might even have been walking myself out of the industry, which was tough for me because I grew up in this space. And I'll never forget, you know, a friend of mine called me one day and said, Micaiah, I just got asked to be the owner of the world's largest travelers club, and are you willing to go on another run? And after you know, about 30 seconds, I said yes, because it had to do with travel and helping people get paid to travel, and I have a passion about that. I know we'll get into that here later on, and so that's what brought me here to Dream Trips International. Travis and I have known each other for quite some time, and this is really where we were able to get reconnected.
I love it.
Fantastic.
I love it.
Yeah, so for me, I was introduced to the direct selling network marketing industry at the age of 19. I'm 43 today. I'll be 44 in October. I'm a father of 4. And early on, when I was learning about network marketing, I thought there's no way these people are making that much money every month. So I was attracted to the money. I was attracted to the freedom that I knew would come from working hard and serving others, which is, I know we talked about share and what that stands for. I'll cover that in just a moment. So as I moved forward, I still needed a job at the time. And I always saw a job just as a way to fund my network marketing business until I was able to go full time. And just for the sake of time and keeping it short, Micaiah and I met in one of my first companies, a legal services company. And I've seen him go on to have massive success, and we've kind of admired each other from a distance. And 2020 and 2021 being what they were, I was doing a lot of different things inside and outside of the network marketing space. Like I'm a serial entrepreneur. I love lots of different space, especially the technology space. I'm somewhat of a novice inventor, if you will, as well. And I was at the time in late 2021 trying to help a friend get a company off the ground that just, it wasn't meant to be, and it wasn't happening. And I got word from another friend that Dream Trips International was coming about. And because I knew Micaiah and I knew the CEO of the company, it was a no-brainer for me. And also, I'll kind of piggyback off of what Micaiah was saying. Personally, I was in the product space for the last almost decade.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just ready to get out of the product space. And much like Micaiah, I was almost ready just to kind of exit the entire direct selling industry altogether and look for something else to do. And when I got this word and when I knew who was at the helm of the company, it was kind of a no-brainer. So that very day when I got the news, Micaiah was the first person I reached out to because I knew he would be closest to the fire with the information. We've had an incredible run so far over the last 9 months. During our pre-launch, we are fully officially launched, and it's amazing because we're just getting started.
I love that. And
Absolutely.
one of the questions that I have to ask is, have either of you read Rich Dad, Poor Dad?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So
absolutely have. Yes.
Between both of you guys is something that I remember from that book is, he recommends at some point in your life, if you want to understand sales, you want to understand, marketing and building your network, join a network marketing, or I should say a direct selling company. And I feel like I heard that with both of you guys is like, it kind of was this university, if you will, where you learned so much from what seems like extremely young ages too. So that's really incredible. I do want to dive in some of the questions that we have. Obviously the pandemic was a big shift for a lot of individuals and organizations. And I got to ask, from World Ventures to Dream Trips International, there's been a lot of exciting big changes. But at the same time, like, how was that transition and how did that impact its stakeholders? But more so, how did you guys come out above on everything? And what does that look like for you guys today?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and Travis, did you want to kick this one off, or you want me to?
No, go ahead. I have some thoughts, but be my guest, please. Go ahead.
Well, it's interesting because we all go through challenges in life, right? And I think we all experienced what the pandemic was and how it shut a lot of things down. And in those midst, there's always two different mindsets. One of them is focusing on the negative, or you have an opportunity to focus on where can we find opportunity from this? And, World Ventures was a legacy brand. They went out there and created something so special. And obviously when the pandemic hit, that made a dent inside of the travel space. But coming out of it, what we've realized is there's people have an itch to get out and see the world. People want to go out and experience new memories. Even if it's just going on a picnic or going to a movie theater, they want to get out of their house. And so, that created an incredible space inside of this travel space. The industry is expected to be a $6.4 trillion space in the next 5 years. And so the timing is exciting, but also just allowing people to get out and start to experience more memories and be able to have access to different discounted, entertainment things. And we won't get into exactly what the membership offers, but it's very special what is going on coming out of the pandemic. And Travis, I know you wanted to elaborate a little bit more.
Yeah, so for me, and it has to do with the silver lining, if you will, that I believe just kind of encompasses the entire direct selling industry, let alone our specific company. You take a look at 2020 and 2021 being a complete bust for a lot of different reasons. No matter how you look at it or what your perceptions are of what happened, where people found themselves was at first in a place of desperation. And because of programs like CARES or certain stimulus programs, even though it may not have been what people have been accustomed to with their regular incomes, I believe that a majority of the population finally had a taste of what it was like to have their time back and still have some income coming in, which prior to that, that was kind of non-existent. So if you look at that, people had 2 years to kind of just chill, get some income coming in. And even though the state of the world was what it was, there was still some peace of mind that something was coming in. Now, I say all of that to say this. You have that occurrence, and then you have an entire workforce in corporate America being forced back to a job that maybe they didn't like, from a 2-year sabbatical, and the free money, if you will, stopped, and now they're waking up and they're realizing, wait a minute, I'm back to trading 5 days for 2 days. I kind of liked it the way it was before. How can I find a way to make that happen again, but at a greater level? What I foresee over the next handful of years, let alone the next 10 years, is a massive, massive explosion of the direct selling industry. And I'm super excited because I'm ready to travel. I haven't traveled in a long time. I haven't done a lot of traveling over my lifetime, so I'm excited to finally get out and see the world that I've been dying to see. And it's just a really great time in the world for not only direct sales, but specifically for our company, Dream Trips International.
That's, I mean, and I have to ask, how many countries have each of you been to at this point?
I haven't been to as many countries, I'm sure, as some of your previous speakers, but I've made it to 10 countries so far. So we got some more to go.
Yeah, for me, I'm so sorry. I was going to say, for me, I'm just a newbie traveler, less than a handful.
That's great, though. That's great. I mean, like, I'm looking through the website too, and I mean, there's a lot of awesome benefits and destinations in that. So I love hearing that. But I did want to echo, you know, even during the pandemic, Photify, we're brand management and content creation, and we work a lot within the direct selling space. And I can confidently tell you that our direct selling clients thrived during the pandemic because so many people realized that exact same aspect of I can be at home, I can be making an income. And especially now, as we've kind of got this pull and shove of, you know, companies wanting to go full time in the office again. And people are like, no, not doing it. Providing more freedom and flexibility. And, you know, I think there's been a lot of shifts across all different industries, all different organizations. But I think that especially within direct selling, there's been an awesome shift to, you know, kind of rebranding themselves as an industry, reformatting, and they're really coming out above. You know, it's a lot of that industry as a whole, but even more so when you bring travel into the space. Life is about experiences. And when you can marry the two and give opportunity to people throughout that, I think that's always going to be a win-win.
You know, if I may, really quick, in regard to what you're saying, Angelique, as far as creating experiences and traveling, I think it's really key to look at what an individual can do to create more happiness in their life. Yeah. And if you were to ask a group of 5 people, 20 people, 100 people, if they could think about their most favorite memory of all time, even though they may be very different, there's going to be one thread that they have in common. All of those happiest moments occurred with other people. So when you think about what it takes to create more happiness in an individual's life, it's super simple. Create more unique experiences with other people. And here at Dream Trips International, that's exactly what we do.
Yeah, and I think bouncing off of those silver linings, I think going through the 2+, I mean, I still feel like we're in a pandemic still. I think some of those silver linings and the idea of prioritizing experiences came to light even more. And people are seeing, you know, we were talking before we went live here is, life is short and it goes
Yeah.
by quickly. So
Absolutely.
do something you love with the people that you love.
That's right.
Bouncing off a little bit into the brand management side of things, what do you believe sets Dream Trips International apart, and how do you believe that brand management and brand integrity play a key role in such?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think one of the most important things to understand from Dream Trips is, we have already sent 1.3 million members on a Dream Trip. So they've already
Wow.
experienced that product to over 30,000 different Dream Trips in over 70 countries. And so, what's unique about that is, anytime you're bringing a new product to the market, you're expecting and hoping that the people accept it, right? They welcome it, and your word of mouth advertising grows. And so the unique position that we sit in is we're already sitting on a legacy product. Coming out into the launch of this new aspect of Dream Trips International, we've just poured fuel onto our membership. For example, one of our benefits is, you're going to get access to 1,300 VIP lounges in every airport, every airline. And so just being able to add more value, being able to give the average person like you and I the ability to experiment extraordinary things. And from a brand management standpoint, I think, what sets us apart is, we're not just, I know there's a lot of companies out there, they may have a what's it called? I'm drawing a blank.
An OTA?
A timeshare aspect to it. I know the word timeshare doesn't have necessarily the sexiest attachment to it, or maybe they just have a booking portal where they'll get difference. See, there's only one Dream Trips, Dream Trips International, and we customize, curate it, so we really personalize experiences for you. And we're actually working on technology, AI technology, where you'll be able to log into a membership portal, and over the course of 2 years, the membership's going to identify that you've been booking trips to the Caribbean. And so it'll formulate and customize trips to the Caribbean for you. And so really making it more of a personalized experience, because I think we can all agree, coming out of the pandemic, travel is different. You may not want to go on a trip with 200 people. It's maybe more of a boutique-ish experience, or maybe it's more of a customized experience. Maybe you want to do a yoga retreat, or maybe you want to do the horsebacking, or maybe it's a personal development seminar. I know we have people probably watching here. You're like, I want to jump out of airplanes and go skydiving, right? So we're really going towards an aspect of making it about you, not us coming up with ideas that we think you'll like, but asking what it is that you like and what kind of dream experiences would you like to see happen for you. So it's a very special place to be.
Love that. Travis, anything you want to add on that end?
Hey, sometimes things are best said, and they're just said, and I think Micaiah covered it beautifully.
Yeah, no, I'd have to agree. I think the personalization aspect, that's always going to be key. I mean, I think about, my husband and I, just individually, we travel in different ways, but, we enjoy the same things at the same time. So having options that, can speak to each and every individual, if not, the same trips at the same time, that's awesome. And I'm sure, I can't imagine the amount of curation that goes into that. I've been on some group travel experiences, and just the coordination. And, I think for me as a participant, waking up and just, here's my itinerary, here's what I'm doing, Here are the people I'm going to meet, here's, the experiences that I'm going to have tailored to me. And so I love hearing that. Breaking it into a bit more about, sales enablement. So obviously, you have, and correct me, it's independent representatives. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
We actually say independent business owners, but
business owners,
or travel ambassadors.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's the new language.
What are some ways that you they feel enabled to talk about this program or share this program with others?
It's a good question. You want to take that one, Kai?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the cool thing about entrepreneurship is, there's a lot of opportunity. I think we can probably all agree there's a lot of opportunity out there. And, one thing that is important, I think, first as an entrepreneur in general, is to identify what motivates you. What is your desire? I grew up with a single mom. At the beginning, for me, it was, I wanted to make money. I was money motivated. I didn't have money. And so, and I was, and I'm a believer, I love to serve, but I was driven to make money so we didn't have to struggle. Now, you do quickly find out, once you get money out of the way, it's not about the money. It's about inspiring others and pulling the greatness out of people and encouraging people to dream big and to go for it and whatever their hearts desire. And so what I love about this industry is it provides a platform for you to be able to fuel your passion. It provides a platform for you for, if you want to open up churches, if you want to go on, like, a big part of my mission is I want to go on mission trips and help the youth. And I love the network marketing aspects to it because it allows me to be able to create that cash flow to be able to fuel my passion. Now, one thing I love about travel is it truly impacts you as a person. You never come back from a trip the same because you're learning other cultures, you're learning other languages, you're being able to eat other food. It forces you to be in positions where you have to adjust and maybe problem solve on a lower level, but it also it challenges you to adapt to the culture. And I think in today's world, we could probably all agree now more than ever, if we understood each other's cultures more, there would be more love, there would be more peace, there would be more understanding, there would be more adjustment. And so, long answer to your question, but how do we enable or embody our reps to go out there and have success? Number one is identifying what drives you and what motivates you. And using our system, and that's where I'll close on, is being able to have a system. Systems are so important because we all come from different backgrounds. Some people who have a sales experience, some people who are stay-at-home moms, people who've been in real estate, construction workers. What's so important is that you got a proven system that works. So anybody can come in, they can take a look at it and say, you know what, I can do this. I can do this spare time. I don't mind doing this. It doesn't take away from my everyday life. And I believe I can go out there and have success. And if you can have an incredible system platform together that anybody can plug into, that gives independent brand owners or travel ambassadors the opportunity to go build something special. So it all starts with your motivation. Everything else is extra.
I love it. That was very, very, very well said. And
Absolutely.
One thing I hear and would echo from that is it's about building community. It's about bringing people together on a shared value, shared purpose. And it's amazing what you guys can do together when everyone's in sync like that, which is, it's pretty incredible.
Totally.
Well, before we wrap up here, anything else that you guys want to mention or share about the experience and what the transition has looked like for you guys at Dream Trips?
You got anything else, Micaiah? Yeah, so one thing I did want to mention, and I know it was earlier on in regard to SHARE and what that stood for. So SHARE is an acronym. I love acronyms. See, hear, associate, renew, evolve.
Okay.
And where that came from was, early in the day from direct selling, being around great mentors, was I was taught if you can change your associations, change what you see, change what you're listening to, and if you renewed your mind, you can evolve to the greatest version of yourself. So as far as that being, it's something that you can teach, but it's through repetition, but ultimately it's a choice to embrace that type of lifestyle, because that's really what it is. Much like Micaiah said, I'm a believer myself. And I truly believe that when you serve without expectation of receiving, there's a lot of magical stuff that happens. So it's a way of life. As far as enablement for our independent reps and how that model of share, create, serve, and share has led to success, it's just the desire to say, hey, look, leaders are servants. Leaders lead from the front, and they're always going to offer a hand before they ask for a hand themselves.
Love it.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man. And I mean, that's perfectly said. And, I guess what I would just leave you with is I'm just going to encourage you to turn your dream machine back on. I know that might sound a little cliche, but I really encourage it. I think we live in the best time ever. what you focus on is what you will attract into your life. So just be aware of your thoughts. And you can go out and create an extraordinary life for yourself if you have that desire, if you have a burning desire, if you have a willingness to work. Find a mentor, reach out. Dream Trips International is a rocket ship of a company. We're so excited to continue to take trips. We just launched about 6 days ago, and we sold out of about 7 trips around the world. And so it's just so much fun seeing people go out there and see the world, creating their own testimonials, and being able to expand their mind. But I just encourage you, turn your dream machine back on, no matter what it is you're doing, and go all in. Now is a time where you truly can go out there and create whatever it is you want in your life, starting today. And we're here doing that with you. And I just want to say, Angelique, thank you so much for having us here.
Thank you so much.
We know that you have an incredible brand company yourself. So if you're looking for brand assets and the right company to help build your brand, get back with her, because she's the one to be partnered with. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I might
Thank
use
you
that
very much.
tagline. What'd you say? Now is turn on the dream machine.
Turn your dream machine back on.
Now is the time.
Absolutely.
That's amazing. Well, hey, again, thank you guys for joining, taking the time to chat with me today, and best of luck. I love hearing companies like Dream Trips succeed, and it sounds like you guys are blazing trails over there. So wish you guys the best of luck, and look forward to seeing what comes next for Dream Trips and, the whole Dream Trips family.